Hi, welcome to this 7-part mini-series on how you can write more effective diet plans so you can get better results with your clients. In today's lesson, we're going to cover the most important thing when it comes to writing diet plans, which is client compliance. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good your plan is, if your client doesn't follow the plan, they're not going to get the results. It's that simple. So I've been around a lot of personal trainers, and a lot of trainers have this concern that their clients are busy, their clients are stressed. If they give them a diet plan to follow, they're not going to be able to follow it. And as a result, what they do is they stick to giving basic dietary advice. However, the literature quite clearly shows that structured dietary interventions tend to work a lot better than just simply giving dietary advice. Because the more vague you are with what your advice is, the less likely someone's to follow it. Whereas the more specific you are, the more specific you are in terms of giving food recommendations, specific food times, the more that it lights up dopamine levels in a person's brain, and the more likely they are to pay attention and also follow the plan. Not to mention, yes, your clients are busy, they are stressed, they've got 1,000 other things to worry about, and diet is just another stressor for them on top of that. So the easier you make it for them, the more specific and precise you make it for them, the more you take that decision-making process out of it for them. And what we know is the more decisions a person is left to make on their own, the quicker that leads to what's called decision fatigue. And then they start to make poor choices. So by leading to decision fatigue, they're more likely to go off the plan. So again, by giving specific structured dietary advice, they're more likely to just follow the plan and stick to it. And what we know from research is if you want someone to actually get results, they need to be about 90% consistent. Okay, so they need to follow your plan 90% of the time. Now, giving a specific dietary plan doesn't mean just setting specific macros for the day and saying, eat this many carbohydrates, eat that many protein, that much fat, and then sending them off to like MyFitnessPal or something like that and letting them select their own foods, because again, that leaves a lot of that decision-making process in their control. Okay, so you want to be specific with the type of foods you give them for each of the meals and even specific meal times. Okay, that's how you make it more specific. So you want to aim more towards food portions rather than just giving them macros for the day. Because if you do that, again, the compliance factor is going to be very low, and that's especially true for beginner clients. Okay, flexibility tends to work better later on once a client has experience, they've been following a strict diet plan for a certain period of time. But in the beginning, giving them less flexibility tends to work better. Now, what that means is your plan, whatever plan is that you give the client, has to match their lifestyle and personal preferences. Okay, so if a client is busy, they're in meetings all day, and it's unrealistic for them to eat 5-6 meals a day, you may have to start them out on something like 3 meals and then maybe a shake. Okay, because if they follow your plan, if they see a positive result, what that does is that increases their motivation. Okay, they'll start to feel better, they see their body composition improves, then they're more likely to actually stick to the plan. Okay, but if you give them too much, if your plan doesn't match their lifestyle, doesn't match their personal preferences, if they don't follow the plan, that will increase guilt, that will increase stress hormones, and they'll actually become less motivated. So a downward spiral starts. So it's very important you give your clients something they're going to follow. Okay, so like I said, I've been around a lot of trainers, and trainers oftentimes blame their clients that the client's not motivated, the client won't follow their dietary advice or their dietary plan. But look, if they're not following the plan, it's because you as a coach didn't set a plan that's realistic for them and that's fitting their lifestyle and their goals and their preferences. So you need to match your plan around the client, not the other way around. So I've had numerous clients come to me over the years that had worked with other trainers, and when I asked them about what is your current diet plan, what are you eating, they weren't really following a structured dietary plan. And they said, well, look, my previous trainer didn't give me a structured dietary plan because they just gave me advice: eat this for breakfast, eat that for lunch, eat that for dinner. So just basic dietary guidelines. And the client a lot of the times weren't following the plan, they weren't getting the results they were after. I would put these clients on a structured dietary plan, and literally within a couple of weeks you would see immediate change in their body composition, because now that I've taken that decision-making process out of it for them and I've given them a plan that matches their lifestyle and their personal preference, they can now commit to the plan and get the result that they're after. So you need to look at what's the client's lifestyle, what's their personal preference, and what is their readiness to change. How willing and ready are they to follow the plan that you've set out for them? So what I usually do, I have an initial consultation with a client that takes between 45 to 60 minutes. During that period, I collect all the information I'm going to need from that client, so when I write a diet plan for them, it's specific and it's suited to their goals, to their lifestyle, to their personal preferences. But even then, when I first give them the plan, whether we print out a PDF of the plan for them, or they go online and through the software we run through their plan, I ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can follow this plan? Okay. If they don't give me anything less than, more than 9 out of 10, or they give me anything less than a 9 out of 10, I will regress them. I will say, okay, where exactly are you going to have issues with following this plan? And it could be a specific meal, it could be a specific food, it could be the times are clashing. So what we'll do is we'll go back through the plan, I'll edit all the areas where they said they're going to have issues with, and I'll make the plan workable for them. Okay, that's what effective coaching is about. Okay, coaching is about working with your clients, okay, and then guiding them to take the action steps they need in order to achieve that result. Okay, that's the difference between a coach, being a good coach, and simply being a trainer. Okay, the trainer's role stops once they give the advice to the clients, whereas a coach will continue to guide them to make sure they're taking the steps they need to take in order to achieve that result. Okay, so one of the key fundamental rules of coaching is never coach your clients at above the level they're willing to commit. So let's recap for today. The most important thing is client compliance. You want to increase client compliance. Structured dietary interventions have been shown to be much better and more effective than simply giving basic and vague dietary guidelines. Okay, you want to give specific foods, not just the macros, and preferably specific times of the day when they eat their meals as well. It's important that your plan matches the client's lifestyle and their personal preferences, and you need to assess how willing and ready is your client to actually go and change and implement these dietary strategies that you've given them. And if they're not ready for it, regress them. Because what someone is not willing to do today can change tomorrow. If they see a positive effect from your plan, if their body composition improves, if they feel better, they're more likely than later down the line, if you give them more to do, they're more likely to follow it and stick to the plan and then get even better results. So it's very important, meet the client where they're at. So that wraps it up for today's lesson. I hope that was useful to you. And tomorrow we're going to cover the next most important thing when it comes to dietary prescription, which is energy balance. So I will see you then. Thank you.